This is it.
This will be the scariest minute of your life.
We watched this get right in front of our own motherfucking face. And the nigga knew it was finna happen. He told us, and we didn't know.
These will be my final show. This will be it. This is it. And when I say this is it, it really means this is it.
Bro, there's no way this just got exposed. Bro, what? What's scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 90% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more creepy videos. Thank you.
They say there's like 8,000 satellites floating around space.
Ain't no space. Dang, ain't no space.
Is there air?
Not like they say, air is information. So, yes, but no.
So what's under the water? What's an ocean?
Good you asked that. Now, what separates everything is water, right? So you think it's like this. So it's like this. So look at, imagine, I wish I could show you, but imagine this. Everything like this, place, water, another firmament, place, what they call it the 7 layers of heaven. What they call it, the 7 layers of heaven, something like that. But it's like all kind of water and shit between it. And there's different layers, how they keep it stacked up like dominoes. Right. It's like God keep us, right? The prison, it's a jail cell. Gang, we live in a cell, in a prison, and we stacked up on top of each other in bunks. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know. But it's the truth. Look it up.
For most of us on Nickelodeon, we don't get residuals. It literally says in the contract, if Elon gets us to Mars and they show Drake and Josh, it's impossible for me to get paid for it.
So no one on the show gets residuals?
Well, the guest stars.
Really?
Oh yeah. There's people who said 2 lines on 1 episode that still get checks in the mail. Josh and I, not a dime. Netflix just bought it. It's top 10 on Netflix. And I got to figure out how to pay my rent this month.
Essentially sand. Their beef filling, they're not allowed to call it beef filling. They have to call it taco filling because
it's not beef.
The beef has silicone in it to make it fuller and more, look it up.
I don't. The ingredients. It's not in there.
Silicone dioxide, anti-caking agent. Now look that up.
Anti-caking agent to avoid clumping in supplements. It's used to prevent the various powdered ingredients from sticking together. Many food additives. Consumers often have concerns about silicone dioxide as an additive.
Probably
Is
fine.
it safe?
Look at that. That's sand. See that? That's what they put in there.
Also frequently found in health food nutritional supplements as an additive, silicone dioxide primarily functions as an anti-caking agent, which prevents ingredients from binding together because it's not food. Duh. Why is it in there, though?
36% beef.
Oh, it's only 36% beef in Taco Bell.
The other 64% is a wide range of fillers,
Cocoa
employee. I was let go on a medical discharge about a week.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made a lot of aspects of the military.
They were looking to buy a house when they realized something lived inside. A horrifying video was uploaded by the Power Bros while touring around an old house that's up for sale.
Is that a cat?
They noticed what looks like an animal's glowing eyes making its way towards them. Not thinking much of it, they approached the creature towards the door, only to make a terrifying discovery.
Oh yeah, I see her. Come here, little kitty. Come here, little kitty, kitty, kitty. Stop.
The seemingly innocent cat eyes stand up, scaring them out of there. Although horrifying, the Power Bros are paranormal filmmakers.
Yo, this is actually one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Like, obviously this is a film team that does this for a living probably, but that's a very scary sight to see. Like, I really could not imagine what was there in the dark, because usually when you see an animal and there's some sort of light while they're in the dark, you can see their eyes, they glow very bright, so you would just assume that's an animal. But whatever that was just stood up tall, and it was not an animal. I don't know what that was. As much as it's more interesting when these videos are real, you know, these videos are still creepy and keep you up at night. So I mean, you know, I really hope that this is not a real thing somewhere out there. Like, I know obviously this one isn't real, but you know, if this scenario was real, what do you guys think this would be?
The image, posted by user Larissa Leaper, shows political commentator and attorney Angela Rye during a live Zoom interview, seemingly alone, when a ghostly-looking child appears peeking around a door in the background. The figure's washed-out appearance and unnatural posture quickly fueled paranormal speculation. Some viewers insisted it looked like a ghost child, while the poster wrote, "We had to pause and take this pic." I was like, there is no way that is her kid. Look at the hand on the kid.
I have 3 potentially very important videos for you, and they come from 2 different witnesses. The first 2 is from an unidentified farmer who wishes to remain anonymous. His security cameras over his farm captured what appears to be the creation of crop circles by unidentified objects. And the second video is from another witness's dash cam as he was driving down that country lane and saw over in a field what appears to be orbs creating some sort of crop field. Is this finally legitimate evidence of how crop circles are created? Now we have to ask, who's creating them and why? And it's interesting to note on the farmer's second video is his security camera is becoming extremely distorted by whatever these things are. And we also have to ask ourselves, is this AI? Comment below. Tell me what you think.
I don't know if this video is AI or edited or something, but that is actually terrifying. I don't know what that is. If you know more about crop circles or whatever that is, let me know in the comments, because, you know, I'm gonna do some more research about it. Maybe I'll put some more videos in here, but this is my first time ever seeing this or hearing about this.
Last month, they found proof to a story that happened in the Bible. You ever hear the story of Sodom and Gomorrah? Oh, no. In the Bible, there was a city. People in the city were sinning and they're doing terrible acts, right? And God wanted to punish the city. And he said, I'm gonna send fire to destroy it. But I'm gonna warn this family there that I think they're good people. This family of this guy named Lot. Now, Lot, the angels came to him and warned him, hey, you guys have to leave because the city's gonna go up in flames. Okay. So they all dipped, they all left out, right? Immediately, when they started leaving, balls of fire started hitting the city. Holy shit. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Engulfing the entire city into flames. One rule God said to them is you cannot look back. But it was so tempting for his wife. She really wanted to see what was happening to the city. So she turned her head and looked out at the city. Yeah. And she turned into a pillar of salt. What? Just recently, they found the pillar of salt. Wait, where? On a mountain that seemed to be the direction Lot and his family would have escaped from. Yo! Yeah, archaeological evidence. They found the whole city. There's sulfur. They have no explanation for it. Also, it's true. That pillar is completely salt. Everything else is different material. And what's so interesting? They cracked into it. They did tests and they found bioorganic material that could have been from someone or something living. It lines up to Lot's wife in the story of Sodom.
Yo! In the following video, a mother's recording her daughter because of something very concerning that she just said. According to the daughter, someone or something is in the closet moving inside. She was able to capture a glimpse of this movement from the gap beneath the closet door, but couldn't make out who or what was in there. This was extremely concerning to the mother, as for a while they've been dealing with strange occurrences at home. They believe that a squatter is hiding in their house. Now, they had thought this for the longest time, until something pretty creepy happened recently. Although Cheryl, the mother, doesn't exactly say what happened, she now knows that something else is going on in the house. One day, Cheryl is sewing in her room when her daughter, who's playing with her toys right behind her, tells her that something had moved in the closet. She immediately grabs her phone and begins to record.
Hey guys, just wanted to jump on really quick because I had to stop sewing. My daughter just said that something weird really happened, and we've been experiencing a lot of strange things lately, just different noises and stuff. Don't mind my mannequins, I sew for a living, so. Can you tell mommy what you just said? think there's something underneath that door. Under the closet door? Is that what scared you? It's okay. What?
A creepy looking mannequin begins to sway on its own before plummeting to the ground. Cheryl and her daughter are left shaken up as neither of them were near the doll when it moved. They were too far to have done anything. Feeling totally baffled, they promptly rush out of the room in a panic frenzy. Now it's worth noting that the reason Cheryl has mannequins in her bedroom is because she now works as a seamstress from home. The mannequins are there to display the dresses that she sews, but viewers believe that the figures are either cursed or haunted. Now Cheryl doesn't really think so, considering that strange things have been happening before she bought the mannequins.
See, clips like this make me believe in paranormal activity because how else are you going to explain this? And you could see the genuine fear in them when this happens. They hear a noise in the closet, they open the closet, and the mannequin just falls. Like, I guess you could say they faked it, but I don't see any strings attached. I don't see any way they could have possibly really faked this because there's nobody else in there besides them, and their reaction seemed very genuine and honest. There's always still a chance that it couldn't be real, but, if this is 100% real, this might be opening doors to some new questions because, we need to get some explanations or some answers.
The thing with mimics is a lot of people don't even realize that they have encountered one. It's only until later when they kind of piece things together that they realize maybe that person wasn't real. Now, this is a story out of Los Angeles. There was this older man named Sam, and Sam had this very large house. He decided, since he had all this space, that he was going to look for a roommate. So he puts an ad in the newspaper, and he ends up finding this young med student who is going to med school and needed a room. So he decides to rent to this girl, and she moves in. After a few months of living together, one day his roommate says, "Hey Sam, when you got a moment, can I talk to you?" And Sam says, "Well, I got a moment now, like what's wrong?" And she goes, "Well, I don't want to come off the wrong way, but your friend keeps scaring me." And he goes, "What do you mean, friend?" And she goes, "Well, your friend that you have over, like I see him sometimes in the hallway walk into your bedroom." And Sam is like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't have any friends really, and I wouldn't have them over at the house." And she goes, no, you're tall, very tall and skinny friend, and that's kind of gangly and walks funny. I seen him go into your bedroom. And Sam is just, really confused about who she's talking about because he never had anyone over at the house. So Sam goes, "Well, what did he, what could you remember what he looked like?" And she goes, "Well, it was too dark to see in the hallway. So all I know is he was just really tall and kind of walking funny." So Sam, just kind of is like, okay, I don't know what she's talking about. So the next night, Sam's in his bedroom, and his roommate, she comes in his room and is like, "Is it okay if I talk to you for a little bit? I'm kind of nervous about, yesterday talking to you and finding out you didn't have a friend that was coming over because I've been seeing someone." And Sam's like, "Yeah, absolutely, that's all right." So they start talking, and, she goes on to tell Sam how when she was a young girl, she had this friend that she called Mr. Guy. And she said Mr. Guy was this very tall, skinny man who would, play with her and hang out with her. And she said that, like, when she seen his friend, it reminded her of her imaginary friend, Mr. Guy. And so, like, they end up kind of connecting through her telling him about her childhood stories. So every night, this roommate would come into Sam's room and they would talk for hours, and he enjoyed it because he was, alone. After a few months, she comes to Sam one day and says, Sam, like, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm going to be moving. My boyfriend has, you know, a new house, and I'm going to move in with him. And so I'm sorry, I'm going to have to move out. And Sam goes, well, that's okay. You've been a really good roommate. And I really appreciate our talks every night. And she looks at Sam, like, kind of confused. She goes, what do you mean our talks every night? And Sam goes, well, you know, when you've been coming in my room every night, and we've talked about your family and this and that. And she's like, I haven't been coming in your room. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And, well, Sam goes, well, how do I know this and this and this from your childhood? And she's like, yeah, that happened, but, like, I don't know how you would know that because I haven't been coming in your room talking to you. And then it clicked to Sam, like, wait a second. I remember when she mentioned, she said she's seen my friend walking into my bedroom. Like, was that the person coming into my room talking to me?
This will blow your mind. If Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, who took the photo from outside? Why haven't we returned to the moon with today's advanced tech? If humans evolved from apes, why are apes still here? Why did 56 countries sign a treaty to protect Antarctica? What are they hiding? Why can't planes fly over it? How did NASA lose the original moon landing footage? How were the pyramids built with perfect symmetry using primitive tools? Why do ancient carvings resemble spaceships? And why are giant bones found across the world? Why do legends of giants and dragons appear in ancient texts and art worldwide? What's with the pine cone symbol that matches the pineal gland? Why is modern entertainment full of dark, strange symbols, and why so much violence in video games? How does The Simpsons keep predicting the future? And if this is the most advanced era, why are diseases and depression at record highs? So many questions, so few answers. Comment, answer, and share this with someone curious enough to ask why.
A lot of these theories out there will really make you think more about life and kind of just question if everything is even real. I feel like everything we're taught is just kind of keep the cycle of life moving. And, you know, there's not really much room for discussion other than that. Like, everybody just wants to go through their day. They just want to live their life, so it's normal for them. But, like, when we start asking real questions, that I feel like that's just how a lot of people are structured and how they grow up, though. Everybody's kind of taught to fit the cycle and just keep rotating through the cycle every single day. And, you know, nobody really questions anything else. You know, I feel like everybody does have their questions, but, you know, when they think about it, everyone just thinks they're crazy or they just try to push it off. But I feel like a lot of these things need to be asked more, answered more, so we can actually get some real answers.
This is it.
This will be the scariest minute of your life.
We watched this get right in front of our own motherfucking face. And the nigga knew it was finna happen. He told us, and we didn't know.
These will be my final show. This will be it. This is it. And when I say this is it, it really means this is it.
I need an ambulance as soon as possible. She's not breathing.
He named his last tour, This Is It.
Michael constantly told me, Latoya, if I die, they're going to murder me. They're going to kill me.
Niggas have never said this is it in a celebratory fashion.
This is it. I mean, this is really it. This is the final curtain call. Okay? And I'll see you in July.
He would tell me that, Barbara. And that's when Michael passed. When I found out he had actually passed, I said, no, it wasn't an accident.
Yes, he's not breathing, sir. He's on the bed. Okay, let's get him on the floor. The doctor's been the only one here.
They could have told me a heart attack. They could have told me he had fallen off a ladder. And I would have said, no, it's not a heart attack. He was murdered.
I love you.
If you can please, we're on our way.
I really do. You have to know that I love you so much. Really. From the bottom of my heart.
Follow for more.
A group of friends were driving by the Hawkins lab in Druid Hills, Georgia, and decided to slow down and get a closer look at the place, since this is the same lab that was used as the location where they filmed the Stranger Things series, and it was looking creepy and abandoned. As they observed the location for a little while, something creepy happens. Watch closely.
There's no way. Fucking there told you. You thought it was crazy. There's no
It's moving.
way
I can see it. It's closing.
It's shut. That guy rolling out the window. It completely shut. The car is started. Did you see it? She didn't. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look, it's opening again.
Wait, get on video. Get on video.
Somebody record this.
I am.
This is paranormal experience. What the fuck? There's no wind either. Like, you can just look at the trees right now. They're not moving at all.
Completely abandoned. No wind. There's nothing in there.
Like, you can look at the plants, the tree, nothing is blowing. It's just opening.
There's no explanation for that. It's also so irregular that it can't be like...
It's opening. It's opening. It's opening. No, fuck that.
No, it's opening faster.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Oh my
That's the
God.
widest it's opened.
That fast too.
What is that?
It's opening and closing.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna need to send me that
You're
video.
filming this? Okay, thank God.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I need to know the history of this place.
Is that a person?
Yeah, we're gonna save ourselves. Don't worry.
What is that?
What is what?
Do you see that?
Oh,
Look at my
there's
phone.
definitely
something moving inside. No, I see it. What is that? I see
Is
it.
that a person?
Is that a person?
That looks like a person. I'm looking at JC's phone. It looks like a fucking
it looks like a
person. In
person.
there. I'm looking at his phone. It's literally a figure. Here.
No, I see
You're
it.
recording
I
that,
see
right?
it. I see it.
Okay, so you could play back and show you guys.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, okay. I see it. Please put the window up. I see it. It's a dark figure. It's a dark figure. It's a dark figure.
We're
I
driving.
don't like that.
Ooh,
Please. Please. I see a dark figure moving.
Oh my God. That's what.
JC records a door opening on its own and explains that there was barely any wind at the time to open it. As they continue looking around, they notice what looks like a shadow figure standing at the balcony can be seen, watching them, before it starts moving and the group of friends get scared and drive away. Maybe the alternate dimension that unleashes supernatural threats is real after all. You tell me.
You know, at night when you have to turn the lights off in your house and you get to that last light and you switch it off and it's completely dark and it feels like all of a sudden your house has now become the most haunted house in the world and you have to make a run all the way back to your bedroom. There might be something to that. Now, when we are doing this, right, we put ourselves in a vulnerable position. And I think anything negative, any kind of spirit that is a negative entity knows this. This is the best time to scare us. And they're trying to see if they could scare us just a little bit to gain entry and to allow them permission to come into our lives. So this is a story I heard out of Rockford, Illinois. There was this girl and she lived in this bigger house all alone. And it started to get late. She wanted to go to bed. So she starts going through her house, turning off all the lights. She gets to the last light, which is in the living room. And when she hits it off and it goes completely dark, she gets that feeling. Well, she walks through her living room. And as she walks past her kitchen, she turns and kind of glances in. And she sees a woman, like in a white gown, just standing in the kitchen. And she's like, "Who are you? What do you want?" And the woman just starts walking towards her. So she takes off running to her bedroom. She closes her door, locks it, and she calls the police. The police show up and she says, "Come inside. Like, there's a woman in my house. I'm in my bedroom, locked in there. I don't want to come out." So they go through her house. They search it. They don't find anyone. And they said, "Ma'am, are you sure you didn't just see something? Like, are you just tired and maybe there was like a hallucination?" She goes, "No, I'm for sure there was a woman in my kitchen." So they said, "Well, we can't find anything. You probably are just tired. Why don't you just go to bed?" So they leave and she goes back up to her bedroom. And when she lays down in bed, she kind of feels like, you know what, maybe that was just, in my head. Maybe I'm just tired and I need to get some sleep. So as she turns around to adjust herself in the bed, there is the woman standing right next to her. And she jumps up, she runs out of her house, and she said as she's in the front of her house, she can see the woman looking out of her window, staring at her.
I have a serious question for you. Are aliens already among us? Because honestly, take a look at this footage. It's kind of creepy. And this woman was captured turning her head all the way around to look at her back. I know some people are truly flexible and double jointed, but this is extreme. And actually, she's a well-known influencer known as Jolie Barney. She's a Brazilian dancer, but she really does have a unique talent. Take a look at these next two videos. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
Véi. Véi, que porra é essa? O que é isso?
I don't know what this girl got going on. I know a lot of people got like hidden talents and stuff like that, but that's one that needs to just stay hidden because that it's just disturbing to look at. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess it's cool. Like, yo, I could turn my head all the way around, but at the end of the day, like nobody, I don't think anybody really wants to see that. It's just like, and it's just like creepy. Like, she just does it in such a creepy way. You know, I don't know if this is just some sort of like special ability she has, or I mean, obviously everybody's gonna read really deep into it and be like, oh, she's an alien, or like, oh, I think she's just a person with a very interesting hobby, I guess. That would definitely be a terrible first day impression. Like, you're just sitting there and you just turn your head all the way around. I don't think you'd be getting a second date, but hey man, whatever floats your boat.
What would happen if you followed a mimic? Now, I've always wondered this, because you hear these stories of someone hearing like their mother knocking at the door or telling them to come in the kitchen. But what would happen if you actually listened to the mimic? Here's a story that might tell you why you should not follow a mimic. There was this young man named Aiden. Now, Aiden lived with his grandfather and his two parents. Now, one day, Aiden was hanging out in his bedroom and he's playing a game. Well, he hears his parents like pull in, and he looks out the window and sees them getting out of the car, unloading some groceries into the house. So he's like, awesome, man, we're going to have something to eat. So he goes back to his game, and then he hears his mother say, Aiden, come in the kitchen. I got some food. And he, you know, at this time was like in the middle of a battle. So he's like, hold on, Mama, I'll be there shortly. I'm in the middle of a battle. And she goes, come on, Aiden, hurry up. Come in the kitchen. And all of a sudden, he said he got a phone call, and it was from his mom. And he's like, why is she calling me when she's in the kitchen? So he picks it up, and his mom's like, hey, honey, we're at the grocery store. Do you want us to get you anything? And he goes, what do you mean you're at the grocery store? You already got groceries. You're in the kitchen. And she goes, what are you talking about? We just got to the grocery store. And he looks out the window and sees that their car is not there. And then right at this moment, he hears his mom saying, you better get in the kitchen right now or you're going to be in trouble. You better come eat. And like, he's like, I got to call you back, Mom. He hangs up. So he goes and he locks his door, and then he calls his mom right back. And he's like, look, when you get home, call me. I'll help you bring in the groceries. So about 25, 30 minutes later, his mom calls him. And she's like, honey, we're home. Come outside. And he said he was getting ready to go out of his room, but he looked out his window first, and their car wasn't there. So he's like, you know what? I don't know what to do because I don't know like who really is my mom right now. So as he's sitting in his bedroom, right, he hears his parents come home and come into the house. And all of a sudden his mom comes up to his door and starts knocking. And she goes, Aiden, let me in. And he's like, not right now, Mom. And she goes, what are you talking about? Let me in. Unlock this door. Why do you have the door locked? And he's like, no, I'm not opening the door. And his mom goes, all right, I'll just get the key and unlock it. So he grabs like this baseball bat that's chilling in his room, and he's prepared for this thing to come in. And like at the time, he still thinks whatever, you know, was calling his name in the kitchen, this is them. So he sees the handle jiggle and the door open, and it's really his mom. And he can tell that it is actually his real mom. And she goes, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, nothing. And he sets the bat down. And she's like, you're acting weird and stuff. And there's food in the fridge if you're hungry. So he didn't know what to make of that. Like, what did he just experience? And he didn't feel like he could tell his parents about it. So he decided to talk to his grandpa, who was kind of like his best friend at the time. So he goes to his grandpa's room, and he's like, Grandpa, he's like, have you ever seen something like you can't explain? And he goes, what do you mean? And he tells the story about like how he thought his mom and dad had came home. He seen their car and everything, but it wasn't actually them. And the grandpa goes, oh no. Oh no. And he
Don't
goes,
hang out with
what's
Diddy.
wrong, Grandpa? And he says, well, when I was a young boy, I grew up in a small Polish village near Warsaw. And he said, we had this term that was this long Polish word, but it roughly translated into evil twin. And he said they believed there were these evil spirits that could take the form of anyone and would try and trick you and lure you, you know, out into the woods. So his grandpa said, you know, when I was a young boy, my father had me chopping wood outside. And I hear my grandma's voice coming from the forest. And she's saying, you know, come in the woods. I baked you a pie. Like, come out here. It's nice and warm. Like, you'll like this pie. And he said, you know, he was so hungry. Like, he almost started to go out into the woods. until his father ran and grabbed him and said, get back in the house. And his father locked the door and said, if you hear someone calling you from the woods, don't ever go, don't respond. So he said, when you encounter an evil twin, as they called it, they will follow you for the rest of your life. And he feared that maybe this thing had followed him here to America, and this is what Aiden had seen. A couple weeks later, his parents are gone, and it's just him and his grandpa, and they're watching this World War II documentary in the living room. Well, all of a sudden, the wind picked up, and a strong breeze pushes the back kitchen door open, and they hear it, open up. So his grandpa's like, I'll go and close the door real quick, and I better lock it so it doesn't blow open again. So his grandpa goes into the kitchen, but after about 10, 15 minutes, he doesn't come back. So Aiden's like, Grandpa, are you all right? He goes into the kitchen, the back door's still open, and he doesn't see his grandpa. He goes throughout the house, he's yelling his name, he doesn't see him anywhere. So he goes out, to the back door, and he's yelling his grandpa's name, he doesn't hear it. So he calls up his parents, and his parents come home immediately, and they call the police, and they do this big search throughout the neighborhood and into the woods. And they end up finding his grandfather in the middle of the woods. He is completely naked. He is confused and doesn't know who he is, doesn't know anything, doesn't remember anything. So they bring him back home and everything. Well, Aiden said that, they chalked this up to dementia and said he was diagnosed with a severe case of dementia. But Aiden, in his mind, suspected, because of the series of events that happened before this and his grandfather going out to the kitchen when the door opened, that this was the evil twin thing that his grandfather had talked about. And he said, although his grandfather had completely lost his memory, from time to time, he would say to Aiden, is my brother outside? Is my brother out there? And he couldn't figure out why, his grandfather would keep saying that. And then he realized maybe this thing appeared as his brother, and it lured him into the woods.
Captured on a rural property in Western Oregon, the image shows a group of young girls standing by a creek. But with one chilling twist, a ghostly looking girl appears in the photo, who was supposedly never there. According to the original poster, Tammy Brenneman Vick, the photo was taken with an early model iPhone while spending time at her grandparents' remote property. Only a few people were present that day: herself, her friend, the mother of two of the girls in the shot, and her 7-year-old son, who declined to be in the picture.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, and I don't know how they would even fake something like this. That's terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually no. I don't know what other explanation this is. It's not even like it was a shadow. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you could do or say about that situation. It's that's just a reminder, y'all stay blessed up. Don't be around negative energy, because you might run into this situation.
There's no new do in the world. It's only 5 or 6, 7 different foods, and they making all these other foods. There's nothing to do in the mother but distractions. Think about it. Every young same shit. Every old the same shit. There's nothing to do in the mother world, gang. They ain't give us too many assignments to do in this world. Listen, there's nothing to do here. It's boring in this prison. Listen, it's boring, gang. What the you do here? Everybody do the same. Everybody run around doing the same. There's nothing to do in this prison. Listen, you ever been in jail before? Yeah. In jail, everybody do the same shit, right? But what's the difference between jail and here? Everybody do the same here. Everybody do the same in jail. It's the same. Gang, we already in jail. You locked. Listen, the warden in jail, and then you got the president setting the rules, telling you what to do, right? Even in certain neighborhoods, they got time when you can go to sleep, when you can get up. Neighborhoods I live in, you can't turn your can't mow your lawn before 7 o'clock in the morning. So they putting rules and stipulations on you everywhere you go, just like in jail. So how the in jail? If you drive, you gotta go get a driver's license to drive. Just like when you in jail, you gotta get a hall pass to walk the halls. So play with me, man. They police this. They police jail, gang. I'm in locked in this body. What the talking about, gang?
Well, answer this question. You ready?
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're gonna be on to the next one.